Hello and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name's Nikki and I make these videos. In today's video, we are chatting and covering week 3 of my 2 December art challenges. I also want to say thank you all for your ongoing support. When I reach 1,000 subscribers, I'm going to be doing a 1,000 subscriber live stream where I plan to drink mimosas, draw, answer questions if you guys have any, talk to y'all, and yeah. So I'd love to reach this goal before 2022 hits. So please hit that subscribe button now if you haven't already. Mama hasn't had a mimosa since she turned 21. I'm old now, that's all you need to know. So hit that subscribe button now. And don't forget to check me out on Instagram at Nikkita Pullen, where you can see more of my art. And okay, let's go ahead and jump right into the video. First up is week 3, the Christmas Bakery for the hashtag Cozy Christmas Challenge 2021. And I initially thought I wanted something with sleeves, big poofy sleeves, but I didn't know how realistic that would be in a bakery setting. But I was gonna go for it. I figured maybe the sleeves would be a little bit pushed up, that way they were away from the wrist where you would be baking. And this was a piece that I honestly drew in one day. I normally would take something like this and I would draw it over several days, and instead I cranked it out in one day because I had forgotten about the challenge. I got so caught up in my own little artwork that I was working on that I forgot that I had challenge pieces to work on. So between social media and, you know, being a mom and being sick and just not feeling good, not sleeping well, my sleep schedule's a mess. I ended up just having to do this, and thankfully my brain was like, you know what, I think we have some ideas for what we wanted to do. And I don't know if I've ever mentioned before, but I used to do baking. I used to make cupcakes and cakes. I did some cake decorating back many moons ago, before my 21st birthday even. So I thought, why not make some delicious little delectable treats? And I thought, you know, I'll make some little snowmen. I wanted to start working on practicing painting more African skinned people or dark complexion skinned people, because something that I shy away from is the darker complexion, because I'm not quite sure how to do the reflective lights, or what's the word I'm looking for, the highlight. So does anyone have any recommendations on how to accurately give a highlight to dark like black skin? I've been avoiding it. If you have any suggestions or tips or tricks, I'd love it if you'd leave it down below. Obviously, with this style of art, I'm not getting too crazy into the highlights, shadows, those kinds of things. This type of art style for me just doesn't dive too deeply into that. I tend to focus more on a texture with this style. But that is something I'm trying to learn. So if you have any suggestions, seriously, leave it in the comments down below. I'd love to hear from you guys. Even if you have suggestions, like if you do a lot of like painting of African skin especially, let me know. I'd love to come check out your channel and learn more. So let's move on from that, because that's, yeah. So I knew I wanted to give her a little apron, and I've always wanted an apron, and I have one now, but like I never actually use it. It's more so, mine's more of an art apron rather than a cooking apron. But even when I did my cake decorating, it was just like always on my clothes. Oh, okay, so we are moving, I've talked too much. We're moving into the second challenge. Okay, so now we're moving on to the second challenge, which is the hashtag Winter Wonders mood board. And the prompt was sweets and treats, which my brain combined into sweet treats. And that's what I worked with. again, it was a mood board challenge, and this time I actually remembered to use the mood board. Again, I was inspired mostly by the pictures of the mood board. I did use a bit of the colors, but the colors, again, just didn't give me too much to work with. While they were nice colors, it just kind of all fell together once I started using more of the inspiration from the pictures. So as you can see, I had to go straight into working on portraiture. Did I say that weird? I went back to my portrait art. I had been missing painting people. I was honestly struggling with this piece, and I did a lot of small tweaks to get her to a point where she looked like this. And another thing that I did is I made this candy background, and I made the mistake of thinking I could do a group masking layer, and that was the wrong choice, because then everything was stuck on the one layer and you couldn't drop the opacity of anything. So when I did this, it was a mistake, and I don't encourage anybody to do it that way if you want to play with opacity at all. That was a big mistake. Here you're going to see where I started using just a bunch of layers of painting, just trying to get her face to look normal and not look so scary. Something was just off. It wasn't laying right. She looked old for her actual age. I did use a reference of a woman eating a candy cane. However, she did not have this candy background. That was my own addition. I did try to, fit things in and make it kind of dynamic. I struggled with this nose, which is odd for me because usually noses don't cause me this much grief, but this one did. This whole face caused me grief. Honestly, I just think I was out of practice. I don't think I've been doing enough portrait work. I will say that I probably in the future won't run two of the same style challenges back to back. I think that these two were honestly a little bit too similar for my style preferences to run back to back. They were just very similar, and their prompts were very similar. So I'm kind of running into that where I'm almost getting them confused because of that. Oh gosh, the hair saga. Stop. I gotta stop what I'm talking about. If anybody knows of any good courses, tips and tricks, videos, whatever to paint realistic portrait style hair, I want realistic hair. Please, 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 please link it down below. Send it to me. DM it to me on Instagram or something. I fought this hair. You are going to see just how much I've battled this hair. I didn't know what I was doing. I went through some of my different brush packs that I have, and oh gosh, I spent so much time doing this art piece. This piece alone was like 17 hours in total that I worked on it. And again, this is one of those last minute pieces, so this is something that I started in the night. And yeah, you can see that I started to get something going, and then it just fell apart, and it looked scratchy, it looked weird. I had these weird, I think a lot of it was the way I had these weird kinky coils laid out, and I just couldn't figure out in my brain how to make them lay normal. Now that I'm looking at it from a different angle, because I have my tablet kind of angled differently from my mic, I can kind of see a different way I could have possibly painted it. But even then, I don't know if I would even touch this again with like a 10-foot pole. Honestly, I'd probably erase those kinks in her hair and give her like short hair or straight hair or something that I could just like hide this stuff, because this was just horrendous. I hate it. I would have rather, you know what? I probably would have rather drawn like 50 hands behind her instead of candy. 50 hands behind her than messed with this hair for another minute. It was the worst. You can see I left the hair. Now I'm working on the hat because the hair was so bad. So honestly, guys, tips, tricks, videos, anything. And I've looked them up. I know I've looked them up on YouTube, but I always get recommended the same things and they don't make sense. Okay. I am super proud of my candy art. It gets better as it goes. You'll see me do edits throughout. I'm also starting to figure out the whole eye thing. I'm not sure where I'm working at right now. I can't see my actual edits. I'm probably working on the hat or something of that sort. There are some bits and pieces that look out of place that I will correct and edit as I go. Oh, I think I am. Yep, I'm working on the eye. Okay, so here is where I'm trying to correct. Oh, now I'm fixing the candy. You'll see I had to drop that green layer out that I used initially, and now I'm going in and I'm adding in even more candy at different angles to make it look more like it's falling and not just like pasted to the background. Again, back to that nose and the eyes. I was trying to give her more of like a squinty eye so that it looked more like she was happy and not so dead-faced and lifeless. I just felt like she was very like, I got candy in my mouth, versus being like joyful and these are sweets and treats and they're falling from the sky and I'm oh so happy. You'll have to let me know at the end if you think I hit that mark or not. I honestly would like to get your opinion on if I was able to kind of bring it back from the dead face that she had. I also want to say that the thing I most liked probably from all of this month so far with all of these pieces is the fact that I was able to create things that I never would have guessed I could create. And that sounds like super silly, but usually I think the reason why I lean towards portrait work is because in a way it's simple. You're looking at somebody and you're not making something up. You're looking at their nose and you're drawing their nose. You know, you're not guessing like, do they have a nose? Is it big? You know, you're actually looking at it and you're drawing what you're seeing. Versus when you're having to create these little scenery things, like you're going, well, what can I do that people might like and that people would think is interesting? What can I do to this portrait piece that takes it from my everyday portrait and puts it back into this category of, you know, well, sweets and treats, or sweet treats as I did. Like, what can I do to really like make this piece a little bit more dynamic without totally losing the thing that I enjoy, which is the portrait art. So I was able to combine the things I've been learning about using more textures in my art. So something I'm super proud of in this piece is the, I think they're called gumdrops. I don't know. I don't like them, but they're on like all of the gingerbread houses. If you look at the texture on those puppies look real. Like even David was like, wow, you nailed those. And for me, that's something that's super cool because I had to figure out like what texture to use and what colors to use. And while it was nothing like I didn't solve some kind of, you know, super mystery, it was still neat that I was able to do that. And just being able to take, you know, excuse me, take drawing a person and flip that into drawing candy and making it look realistic. I thought that was pretty cool. It's silly, I know, but it is what it is. Oh gosh, we're back to the hair. Here we go again. I apologize. I know it's a lot of hair. You can see I clearly battled it. I'm just gonna let you watch because this is actually when I started to pull my shit together. This is also a certified monster break. I'm not sponsored, by the way. Aw. Oh, my best friend texted me. Hi, Natsumi Flowers. If you haven't subscribed to her, I will try to link her in the cards up above or down in the description box. She's an amazing YouTuber and artist, and she creates all of her artwork with her feet. And yeah, you should check out her channel. She is very inspirational and has a very great message, so check her out. Seriously, do you see how far this hair has come compared to the previous hair trials that I had? I kind of don't want to mess it up. Like, I'm afraid if I talk, I'll mess it up. Oh, okay, so while you're watching this hair saga, let me talk about the eyes. The eyes are getting so much better, and my, oh my gosh, am I gonna burp? Oh, God. Oh, excuse me, I'm sorry. The eyes in my paintings are getting better in some ways and worse in others. Like some days I have really good drawings of the eyes, and the other times I'm like, nope. But the way that the eyes look in this picture with the glossiness of them, I was so proud. Still so proud. Look at that hair though. It's coming along. It's looking a lot better. Anyways, I just stopped talking because I was staring at, the process. See, what else can we chat about? Oh, I know. I will probably split screen this. That way I can put it on there. Let's go ahead and talk briefly about scammers. Okay, so when I post these to Instagram, there's this lovely little thing that happens. And when I say lovely, I mean lovely. Not. Okay, so there's these pages that are dedicated to promoting artists, as long as you pay for them. And what they do is they come to your post and they say things like, DM this to, or send this to, and if you actually do send a message to them, they instantly ask for money in exchange for promoting your art on their page, which once you do, they then give you nothing because they put your art up, but they have no they have no actual, they don't follow you. Your art doesn't get any comments, so you're not getting any real engagement on it. It's not really getting any shares or saves. So basically they take your money. But I actually had a scammer admit to scamming. So I'm going to go ahead, put those at the end of this video in case you want to stop and read them or look at them. I try to be pretty honest with you guys and show you guys what's going on. And I think this is super important to share with artists, because it's important. We need to take care of the artists in our community, and the best way that I know how is to put this information out there and to share it. So yeah, I just want to put that out there. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to DM me. If you have been scammed, I'm sorry that you guys have ever been put in that situation. And yeah, if you have a scam story and you'd like to talk about it, DM me. I would love to hear from you. And with that being said, I hope that you have a wonderful holiday season. If you celebrate Christmas, Merry Christmas. That is what I celebrate, so that's what I know. But I will just say happy holidays for anybody who celebrates, and have a good weekend for those who don't celebrate. And yeah, I want to go ahead and say thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to check me out on Instagram at Nikkita Pullen, where you can see that I post daily. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and ring that bell icon so you never miss a beat. And I will see you guys next week. Bye.